to the reality revolution. This is an activation to seek clarity. The essential first step that unlocks everything else on your manifestation journey. I have just one question that I need you to answer, and that is, what do you really want? I have found something in common with a number of my clients is that they have no clarity on what it is they want in their life. Have you ever noticed how the people who achieve remarkable things all share one invisible quality? They possess absolute clarity about what they truly desire, while others drift through life accepting whatever comes their way. These reality creators move with purpose, magnetizing their desires with laser precision. What if I told you that clarity isn't something you find, it's something you activate? Right now, as you go about your day listening to my voice, the part of your mind that already knows exactly what you want is beginning to awaken. By listening to this activation, you will find clarity about what you truly want. In order for you to create your reality, you must have clarity about this. In the next few minutes, we're going to activate the clarity that already exists inside of you. This activation is different. You'll feel energy shifting as we speak. You'll notice thoughts crystallizing with surprising ease. And you'll walk away with a level of certainty that makes reality creation almost effortless. The clearer you become about what you truly desire, the more powerful your reality creation becomes. And clarity is about to become your superpower. Did you know that 97% of people, when asked about what they truly want, can't give a specific answer? They'll say things like, I want to be happy. I want more money. But they can't articulate exactly what that looks like. Here's the fascinating truth. It's impossible to create what you can't clearly define. Think about the last time you ordered at a restaurant. You didn't say, bring me some food. You specified exactly what dish you wanted, how you wanted it prepared, maybe even what side dishes you preferred. Yet when it comes to creating our reality, most of us place vague orders and then wonder why the universe delivers mixed results. As you're listening to my voice right now, moving through your day, part of you already knows exactly what you want. Not the vague wishes or the socially acceptable goals, but true desires. I'm not talking about abundance, which is great, or prosperity, which is wonderful. I'm talking about the specific experiences, feelings, relationships, and achievements that would constitute your ideal reality. This clarity isn't something you need to invent or discover. It's already inside of you, waiting to be acknowledged. Like a radio signal that's always broadcasting, but you've been tuned to the wrong frequency. Have you ever had that moment when something just clicked and you suddenly knew exactly what you wanted with absolute certainty? That feeling wasn't random. It was your natural state of clarity, breaking through the static of doubt and confusion. And right now, as these words begin to resonate with that deeper part of you, you might notice specific desires beginning to come into focus. Perhaps it's something you've always known you wanted but dismissed as impractical. Or perhaps it's something completely new that's emerging into your awareness for the first time. This is an activation. I am using specific sequences of words and frequencies to bring about something within you. And so my goal and intention is for you to walk away from this activation knowing with absolute clarity what it is you want to do. The difference between those who successfully create their reality and those who struggle isn't skill or luck. It's specifically knowing what they want to create. And today we're activating that precision of desire that transforms wishful thinking into deliberate creation. It's interesting how clarity unfolds. As you're listening to my voice right now, part of you is already beginning to recognize what you truly desire. That deeper part of you has always known, and it's now starting to communicate more clearly with your conscious mind. When you think back to times in your past when you felt unsure, confused about what you wanted, you can now recognize that this confusion was simply part of the necessary process. Each moment of uncertainty was actually gathering important information, like a computer processing in the background before delivering the perfect solution. And now in this present moment, as you continue with your day, while these words sink in, you're becoming increasingly aware of the specific experiences you want to create. Perhaps you've already noticed that certain possibilities feel more aligned than others. That feeling is your clarity already activating. Trust it, notice it, allow it to expand. Some people are surprised by how quickly clarity can shift from vague notions to crystal clear vision. You might find yourself suddenly knowing exactly what type of relationship you want to experience, or precisely what form your creative expression should take, or specifically how you want your daily life to feel. Maybe you want a dream home, or you want to become a singer. Maybe you're learning this in this moment. By tomorrow, you will notice even more clarity emerging as your mind continues processing what we're activating today. This is an ongoing subroutine within your subconscious mind that is now running to activate within you an absolute knowing for your purpose in life. By next week, you'll look back and wonder how you felt unclear about what you truly wanted. And a month from now, you'll be actively creating that specific reality with this precision that only comes from absolute clarity. Your future self already exists in that state of complete clarity, and right now, that future self is reaching back through time, guiding you, showing you exactly what you desire to create and experience. All you need to do is allow yourself to receive this clarity that's already unfolding within you. Have you noticed how some of your desires are already becoming more specific? How instead of just wanting success, you're beginning to see exactly what success looks like for you. How instead of just wanting happiness, you're starting to recognize the precise experiences that would fulfill you completely. This is what happens when you give yourself permission to know what you've always known at some level. The vague becomes specific. The general becomes particular. The fuzzy becomes focused. And with this clarity, your power to create reality begins to expand exponentially. This clarity will only strengthen, becoming more detailed with every minute you listen to me, more precise, more actionable. How can you find your motivation, the desire, the energy to really create that life that you want if you have no idea what that life will be? This clarity is available to you. You can open yourself up to it by undergoing and letting go and allowing this process to flow through you. As you continue moving through your day, I want you to imagine something with me. Imagine that your mind can be in two places at once right here in your physical environment and simultaneously at a powerful metaphorical crossroads of possibilities. This crossroads exists within your consciousness. You can see it clearly now. Multiple paths extend outward from where you stand. Each path represents a different version of your life, a different reality you could create. The air feels charged with potential. There's a gentle breeze that seems to whisper different possibilities as it passes by. In one reality, you live in one state. In another reality, you live in another country. In one reality, you're a millionaire, and in another reality, you're a great artist. Notice how, until now, there may have been a subtle fog obscuring the different paths that were available to you. Perhaps you could see only a few steps ahead before everything blurred into uncertainty. This is how most people experience their choices, through a haze of doubt and unclear vision. But something remarkable is happening now. With each breath you take, with each word you hear, that fog is beginning to lift. It's as if someone has adjusted the focus on a camera, and suddenly everything is becoming sharper, more defined. You can see details along these paths that were invisible to you before. Feel that sensation of recognition in your body. There's often a physical response when clarity arrives, perhaps a warming in your chest, a relaxing of your shoulders, or a slight smile that forms naturally as you begin to recognize which path resonates most deeply with your true desires. Look more closely at these paths now. One of them seems to shimmer slightly differently than the others. It catches your attention, draws your gaze. As you focus on this particular path, you can feel a subtle pull, like a magnetic attraction. This isn't coming from outside you, it's coming from within you, from that part that already knows exactly what you want to create and experience. The interesting thing about this crossroads is that as the fog continues to lift, some paths actually begin to fade away. These are the options that never truly aligned with your authentic desire, the paths you considered only because you thought you should, or because you thought others expected them of you. What is your authentic path? What do you really want? In this moment, as these inauthentic options fade, the path that truly represents what you want becomes increasingly vivid. You can almost taste the experiences that await you there. You can feel the texture of that reality against your skin. The sounds and colors of that path become richer, more multidimensional. This is what clarity feels like, this unmistakable knowing. It's not just a thought or an idea. It's not just a visualization, it's a full-body experience of recognition. And right now, as you continue with your daily activities while holding this crossroads in your awareness, you're strengthening this clarity with each moment. The fog continues to lift. Your vision becomes sharper. The path that represents exactly what you want to create stands out with increasing brilliance. And you stand at this crossroads with a growing sense of certainty about which direction truly calls to you. Now let's explore one of the most powerful tools for crystallizing your clarity: the art of asking yourself precisely the right questions. You see, your mind is designed to answer questions. When you ask yourself a question, your brain immediately begins searching for an answer. Like a sophisticated search engine scanning through all your experiences, beliefs, and desires. The quality of your clarity is directly related to the quality of your questions you ask yourself. Generic questions produce vague answers. Specific, powerful questions create precise clarity. It's like the difference between using a flashlight with a diffused beam versus a laser that illuminates with perfect precision. So let's harness this power of questions to bring your desires into sharper focus. As I share these questions with you, allow them to penetrate deeper than your thinking mind. Let them resonate in your body, in your own energy field, in that part of you that already knows exactly what you want to create. First, ask yourself, what would my perfect day look like from the moment I wake up until I fall asleep if I were already living my ideal reality? Notice the level of detail that emerges as you consider this: the environment you're in, the people around you, the activities that fill your hours, the feelings that flow through your day. This single question often reveals more about what you truly want than hours of general contemplation. Another question I always ask my clients If a genie came to you right now and could grant unlimited wishes, what would your wishes be? What are the things that come to mind when you have unlimited power and can have anything that you want? Now consider this. What recurring themes have appeared throughout your life that you've always been drawn to, regardless of what others thought? These persistent interests are often signposts pointing toward your authentic desires. They contain clues about what you're naturally designed to create and experience. Here's a particularly revealing question. If I had to choose one area of life where feeling fulfilled would create the greatest positive impact on everything else, what would it be? This question helps you identify the leverage point in your reality creation, the aspect that influences all others. Try this one. What am I already doing or creating that I would continue even if no one ever paid me or praised me for it? Your answer reveals what you're intrinsically motivated to experience beyond external rewards or recognition. Now, a question that bypasses many mental blocks. If the 3 people I most admire were to give me advice about what I should create or pursue, what common theme would emerge in their guidance? This allows you to access your own wisdom through the projected perspective of those you respect. Consider this powerful question. What would I attempt to create or experience if I absolutely knew I could not fail? Fear of failure often obscures your true desire and takes away your clarity. This question temporarily removes that filter, allowing clarity to emerge unobstructed. This next question addresses a common clarity block. What desire have I been denying or downplaying because I don't yet see how it could be possible? Sometimes our clearest desires are the ones we've pushed aside because they seem impractical or unattainable. And finally, ask yourself, when I envision myself at the end of my life looking back, what would I regret not creating, experiencing, or becoming? This question cuts through day-to-day concerns and connects you with your deepest, most essential desires. To take a moment to notice which of these questions triggered the strongest response within you. Perhaps you felt a flutter of excitement, a sense of recognition, or even some resistance. These reactions are valuable indicators of where your true clarity lies. The power of these questions doesn't end when this activation concludes. You can return to them repeatedly, each time drilling deeper into your clarity. You might write them down, record them in your own voice, or simply remember the ones that resonated most strongly. As you continue integrating these questions into your awareness, you'll notice your clarity becoming increasingly refined, not just about what you want in general, but exactly what you want specifically. The vague becomes precise, the approximate becomes exact, and with this precision comes unprecedented power to create exactly the reality you desire. One question that I ask sometimes helps in giving me clarity with a client is, if you had $1 billion in the bank, what would you use it for? This is not always accurate because sometimes people will say all the things they could not do. But usually within the answer to that question lies exactly what it is that you want. These questions are like keys that unlock different chambers of clarity within you. Use them intentionally. Return to them regularly. If you find new questions, ask them. Continually put yourself in a position where you're asking questions, because your mind is amazing and it will answer whatever questions that you ask of it. Now, as we deepen this clarity activation, I'd like to introduce you to someone who knows exactly what you want, your future self who has already achieved perfect clarity. This version of you exists right now in a parallel timeline where all the fog is lifted completely. While you continue whatever you're doing, allow a sense of your future self to emerge in your awareness. This isn't about seeing them visually, it's about feeling their presence, their energy, their absolute certainty about what they desire and create. Notice how differently this future you carries themselves. There's a quiet confidence in their posture, a sparkle in their eyes, a subtle smile that suggests they know something profound. This is what you look like when you've aligned fully with your true desires. Your future self has been watching your journey with compassion, understanding that clarity isn't always instantaneous. And now across time, they're reaching out to have a conversation with you, to ask the exact questions that will crystallize your desires with perfect precision. They understand that when you find your clarity, you find your magic. Listen as they ask their first question. Once again, what would you pursue if you knew you couldn't fail? Feel how this question resonates in your body. Your future self knows that fear of failure often clouds your clarity. As this question settles into your awareness, notice what answers begin to surface naturally, not from thinking mind, but from the deeper knowing place. Now your future self leans in closer and asks, what patterns keep appearing in the moments you feel most alive? They understand that clarity often hides in plain sight in the recurring themes of your peak experiences. As you consider this question, certain memories might flash through your mind, moments when time seemed to stop and you felt completely in flow, completely yourself. Your future self smiles knowingly and asks, what would you regret not attempting? They understand that regret is often clarity in disguise. As this question penetrates your awareness, notice what immediately comes to mind, what endeavor, what creation, what experience would leave an emptiness in you if left unexplored. Now they ask something unexpected. If you removed everyone else's expectations, opinions, and judgments from the equation, what would you choose? Feel the weight lifting as you consider this. So much confusion comes from trying to integrate others' desires with your own. In this moment of pure self-connection, what becomes clear? Your future self continues. What desire keeps returning to you no matter how many times you dismiss it? They know that persistent desires are signposts to your authentic path. What idea, dream, or vision keeps knocking at your door, refusing to be ignored? As this conversation unfolds across time, your future self shares one final insight. Clarity isn't just about knowing what you want, it's about recognizing what you've always wanted. They explain that the process isn't about creating new desires, but about uncovering what's been there all along beneath layers of doubt, compromise, and distraction. Feel the resonance of these questions continuing to work within you, catalyzing recognition, connecting dots that may seem unrelated before. Your future self isn't giving you the answers, they're helping you uncover your own truth, your own perfect clarity that has always existed within you. There's a phenomenon that advanced manifestors discover, something I call the clarity threshold. Once you cross this threshold, reality begins responding to your desires with surprising speed and precision. And what's remarkable is how this clarity begins changing your experience immediately. Because as you continue listening, you're already starting to notice moments of unexpected certainty emerging throughout your day. You're beginning to recognize exactly what you want with a precision that might surprise you. Think about those rare moments when you've known something with absolute certainty. Perhaps it was a decision that everyone questioned, but you moved forward anyway because you just knew. Remember that feeling, that unshakable inner knowing. That's the essence of clarity that we're activating right now. Imagine for a moment what your life looks like when you operate from this level of clarity all the time, as if you wake up each morning already knowing precisely what to create that day, as if the path ahead is illuminated so clearly, that each choice becomes obvious, as if the noise and confusion that once clouded your desires has completely dissolved. When you live as if you already possess this clarity, something remarkable happens. Your nervous system begins to align with this new reality. Your reticular activating system, the part of your brain that filters information, begins highlighting opportunities that match your clearly defined desires. Synchronicities multiply, the right people appear, doors open that you didn't even know existed. Tomorrow you might notice yourself making decisions with unexpected ease. Next week, you might find yourself articulating desires with surprising precision. A month from now, you'll likely look back and recognize how this clarity has already begun transforming your reality in tangible ways. The truth about clarity is that it works much like quantum physics. The mere act of observation changes the outcome. By considering exactly what you want with focused intention, you're already beginning to collapse probability waves into your desired reality. Your clarity becomes the observer that determines which potential becomes actual. It's why so many people struggle with reality creation, with manifestation and the law of attraction. Without precise clarity, they're trying to manifest with fuzzy intentions, like trying to tune a radio to a frequency that keeps changing. But you are now tuning to an exact frequency, becoming increasingly specific about exactly what you want to create and experience. I want you to recognize how differently you're already relating your desires. There's a confidence emerging right now, isn't there? A sense that you can trust your knowing. A recognition that you've always had this clarity, it was just waiting for you to claim it. Carry this activated clarity with you. Let it continue strengthening. Allow yourself to know what you know, and watch as your reality begins reflecting back to you exactly what you've now clarified you truly desire. Now, as this clarity begins strengthening within you, let's discuss how to integrate it into your daily life. Because clarity without action remains simply a pleasant insight rather than a transformative force. It's in the practical application that your clarity becomes reality. Throughout your day, there will be countless moments when you can reinforce and deepen this clarity. Each time you make a choice from the seemingly insignificant to the obviously important, you have an opportunity to align with what you now know you truly want. Start noticing how certain decisions feel aligned with your clarified desires. While others create a subtle sense of discord, this feeling is your integration barometer, your internal guidance system calibrating to your newly activated clarity. When something feels aligned, it literally brings you closer to your desired reality. When something feels misaligned, it's simply information, a reminder to readjust your course. Here are 3 powerful anchoring statements you can silently repeat to yourself throughout your day. With each choice, my clarity strengthens. Say this whenever you're making decisions, whether choosing what to eat, how to respond to someone, or what project to prioritize. This reinforces that every aligned choice builds momentum towards your desired reality. You can say this with me. I recognize exactly what I want and I choose it now. Use this when you notice old patterns of confusion or doubt attempting to resurface. This immediately reconnects you to your activated clarity. Say this with me. My clarity is evolving into even greater precision. Remind yourself of this whenever you receive new insights about what you want. This acknowledges that clarity isn't static. It's a living, breathing awareness that continues refining itself over time. Remember that clarity is not a destination you reach and then possess forever. It's more like a muscle that strengthens with use. Some days it will feel more accessible than others. Some aspects of your desires will be crystal clear, while others may still be developing into greater definition. This is perfectly natural. In fact, it's precisely how clarity is meant to unfold, not as a single lightning bolt of insight, but as an ever-deepening spiral of recognition. Each turn of the spiral brings you to a similar place with a more refined understanding. Now, here are some additional affirmations that you can say to yourself to begin to focus and bring about clarity on what you want to create in your life. Say this with me. I know exactly what I want to create in my reality. My clarity strengthens with each choice I make. I trust my inner knowing without hesitation or doubt. What I truly desire is becoming crystal clear to me now. I easily recognize the path that resonates with my authentic desires. My clarity is a powerful magnet, attracting aligned experiences into my life. I can feel the difference between what I truly want and what others expect of me. With perfect clarity, I create my reality with precision and ease. I am tuned to the exact frequency of my desires. Every day, my vision of what I want becomes sharper and more defined. I give myself full permission to know what I've always known. The fog has lifted. I see my path with absolute clarity. My clarity is constantly evolving into greater precision. I effortlessly distinguish between authentic desires and conditioned wants. When I make choices aligned with my clarity, reality responds immediately. I am the conscious creator of my experience, guided by perfect clarity. My clarity threshold has been activated. I magnetize my desires with laser precision. I recognize exactly what I want and I choose it now. The more specific my clarity becomes, the more powerful my creation becomes. I trust the unfolding of my clarity as it reveals my true desires. Now take a moment to notice your surroundings again, the physical space you're in, the sounds around you, the sensations in your body. Notice how you can be fully present in your environment while still maintaining this activated state that we've been developing together of clarity. What's fascinating about the clarity that you've activated is that it will continue working within you long after our conversation ends. Your subconscious mind is now programmed to keep refining your understanding of exactly what you want to create and experience. You'll notice this happening in unexpected moments like showering or during commute, just before falling asleep, or in that first moment of waking. In the coming days, pay particular attention to your dreams. Both sleeping and waking, clarity often reveals itself in experiences and symbols and scenarios that your conscious mind might not immediately recognize as significant. A recurring theme, an unusually vivid image, a persistent idea. These are all ways your clarity continues to communicate with you. Also notice how your vocabulary around your desires begins to shift. Where you once might have said, I think I want, you'll find yourself saying, I know I want. This subtle change in language reflects the profound shift that's occurred in this activation while watching this video. You do not realize, beyond all my other activations, meditations, and episodes, all 2,000 of them, that this one video may be the key. Once you have clarity, you really know what you want, everything falls into place. Each time you apply this clarity, making a decision that aligns with what you truly want, saying no to what doesn't resonate, taking action towards your clarified vision, you strengthen the neural pathways of certainty in your brain. This creates an upward spiral of increasingly precise clarity and increasingly powerful creation. Imagine how differently you'll approach reality creation. Now that you know exactly what you want, you may not know it in this exact moment, but we've activated the momentum towards that moment when you know exactly what you want without a doubt. Imagine the precision with which you'll focus your intention. Imagine the confidence with which you'll make choices. This clarity is the foundation upon which all successful manifestation is built. I'm genuinely excited to see what you'll create from this place of activated clarity. Because when you know exactly what you want, the universe no longer has to guess. It can deliver with astonishing precision. You can find all episodes of The Reality Revolution at therealityrevolution.com. And welcome to The Reality Revolution.